Hey guys, it's Chip over here at Eaglerider Motorcycle Orlando. Hey guys, one of the really coolest parts of my job is we get these trade-ins that I get to test them out, check them out, take them for a little test drive, see what I think, do a little review on them. That's part of my gig. Dude, I gotta tell you, this thing is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you something kind of neat, something that's really, something you probably haven't seen before, or at least maybe, maybe in pictures or something, but you probably haven't seen one in real life. This is my first time seeing one. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about it. So this, not only does it look very different, which you'll see here in just a moment, this is a DN-01, and it's quite often referred to as a Dino. Come down here, check out the lights on this thing. Well, it's a motorcycle. It's a scooter, and it's really kind of cool. This thing actually, it's a V-twin. It's water-cooled. It's got an automatic transmission, kind of like, it's called something human, something type transmission. I forget what it's called, but it's very specific to this type of bike. These bikes never really, sold well. They only sold 1 year in the States, but they're pretty popular overseas. But it is really cool. It's got the single-sided swing arm in the back, which is kind of a neat touch. It's got the big disc brakes. It's got really good, healthy-sized tires on it, or big tires in the rear there. This particular one's had the backrests added to it. It also has an aftermarket windscreen on it. We do have the original windscreen with it. It's got the dual disc up in the front. I haven't ridden it yet. I'm getting ready to do that right now. But a couple of the guys here have ridden it already, and they said this thing is pretty amazing. So I got to see what all the hoopla is about. Now, interestingly, this bike was traded in by a local motovlogger. His name's Rob. He goes by RC62 on his YouTube channel. He's done quite a few videos on this bike. He's also done some videos on his new Indian Scout that he just bought from us when he traded this one in. Highly encourage you to check him out. He is, well, he's a hoot. He's, he's one of those guys that just got to say it like it is, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to take this thing for a quick ride around the block. I say quick. They tell me this thing's got some pretty good acceleration. I'm not going to push it to its limits. I just want the experience, man. I want to see what this thing's all about. So right now, it's in neutral. See a little green neutral light down there? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put it in drive. See, it's fully automatic. It's got the D up there for drive. This thing only has 6,200 miles on it. Wow, that thing's pretty cool. It also has a shift over here. You can do drive, regular drive, or it has a sport mode, which will allow it to rev to a higher RPM before shifting. Another cool thing is it actually has an emergency brake down here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got an e-brake. It's got floorboards. It is kind of weird that it does not have a clutch pedal. I mean, a clutch lever. It has no shift lever down here. So that makes it kind of unique for me, but I'm just going to throttle on and see how it goes. It leans really nice. Seat is incredibly comfortable, I can tell you that. Backrest is a nice touch. I don't normally like bikes with a backrest, but for whatever reason on this bike, it just seems to fit it quite nicely. So it's a good day for a ride. That kind of builds the power pretty linear. It is odd not to have to shift it, but I guess I could get used to it. A lot of your Hondas now come that way. Aprilia's had a model for quite a few years with a transmission similar. Well, the newer Honda automatics is a dual clutch transmission, so it is different. It actually has gears. But yeah, this thing, hey, it rides good. This is a pretty bumpy road. It does allow you to feel the road, but bumps in the road. But I got to tell you, one of the things that it tips pretty easy. It's doesn't take a lot of input to give this thing a change of direction. The rear visibility in these mirrors is fantastic. Now it does have, like I said, have an aftermarket windscreen on it. We do have the original one here. Seems to be doing a pretty good job. Not really sure I like the way it looks, but again, that's subjective. Bike's in really good shape. Again, feels kind of strange coming to a stop without pulling in the clutch or shifting for gears. I'll just take it around the block here. It's gonna Should be able to get it up to some speed here. Got a little twisty down around this corner here. Yeah, it's a different feeling, but not necessarily a bad one. I could see having a lot of fun with one of these. It really handles quite amazing. I mean, you know, these corners actually is kind of quite fun. Oh, you know what? It's one of those bikes you don't feel the speed on. I'm doing, like, this is a 40 zone. I'm doing like 49, you know. And it's pretty comfortable there, you know. It seems to hold the road really well. Very comfortable riding position. It's not like a feet forward riding position like a lot of your cruisers, but you know, a little bit forward, so it's a little bit relaxed there. But man, I love the way this thing steers. You know, when you see something that's excuse me, that's different, you really don't know what to expect. I know that Rob had a lot of great things to say about it when he traded it in. You know, again, but lots of times, you know, things are subjective to personal tastes and likes, but, you know, I can see why anybody would kind of like this, you know, except for maybe your diehard Harley guys or something, you know. Let's check this thing out. Let's see how it turns here. Yeah, this thing is actually pretty darn cool. Now again, it doesn't feel like it's going to be like a high RPM screaming machine, but you know, it's a V-twin. It's like a 680cc, something like that. So it's potent. You know, it's no toy. You know, you think sometimes of a scooter type vehicle. You know, they're kind of klutzy. Well, I won't say all of them are, but you know, most of them kind of a klutzy feel to them. They usually have pretty short wheelbase, so they, you know, you feel the bumps, you know, quite a bit. This one's got a pretty long wheelbase, it seems. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty stretched out. So it seems to absorb the bumps really well, gives it a nice, comfortable ride, and yet turns in pretty easy for a long wheelbase bike. It might have a lot to do with these. You know, it's got really wide set handlebars here, so gives you a lot of leverage out there. That might have something to do with it. You know, handlebars come right back. I mean, you're a very natural riding position. I mean, I'm just kind of, hands just kind of drop into a natural riding position, not reaching for anything. That's pretty cool. Again, you never know what you're going to run into on something that's really this different. Again, I'm reaching for that clutch pedal. I mean the clutch lever. That isn't there. I'm looking for the shifter with my foot. That's not there either. As I'm coming to a stop, you can feel the transmission kind of downshifting a little bit. I'm not really downshifting, but you can feel it losing its grip there. All right. Yeah, this is, you know, unique, cool. It's actually pretty peppy. I mean, and it's really comfortable at speed. I would imagine this is. I can understand why over in Europe these are very popular. Now we got I just put 4 miles on it roughly. I could say it was a highly enjoyable 4 miles. Again, whether I'd buy a bike like this, I'm not really sure. If circumstances were different, you know, might be a possibility. But I would have to say the bike is pretty darn cool. Oh, so I'm back at work now, back at the Eagleriders. Cool place to work, got cool stuff like this to ride. So guys, if a bike like this strikes your fancy, you ought to come down and see it. Take it out for a test ride. I don't think you'll be disappointed with this one. Again, I'm about the third person to test ride it here, and I would have to agree with the two first guys, man. This thing's a hoot, and quite nimble actually. So guys, if you have any questions about this bike or any of the other bikes on our website, you can give us a call over here at area code 407-251-5335. Guys, we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.